Hello dear students, Namaste and welcome in our English class. I hope you are fine and comfortable to learn with me today. We are going to do a lesson from unit 14, and in this unit we have a reading text, and this is the reading second. Okay students, so before we start let's talk about some of the things that we have done in the previous lesson. Okay, so we have talked about recently we have talked about listening exercises, and we have talked about sports in the listening text, and that was also about expressing abilities that anyone can play tennis. Okay, so after that we talked about speaking activities, and in that speaking also we expressed abilities in some conversation with friend and mother and a daughter. And we have also talked about animals' ability, that which animal can do what and what they can do. And we have practiced pronunciation in the previous lesson. So students, in today's lesson 2, we have a reading exercise. And in this exercise, we are also going to ask for abilities or our possibilities for doing something. Let's have a look at the first page of our reading section. Here, we are going to read a text that is at our library. Okay students, do you see that section? At our library with this picture. So we have here a picture with the kids like you and a librarian. Okay, a person who stays in a library and gives you book or gets you registered there is a librarian. Okay, so we have comprehension exercises after that, and we will complete our today's lesson. So let's look at the first exercise, that is some questions before we read with the pictures. Please look at the picture here and then tell me, who do you think they are? We have already introduced them. I have already introduced them. I know you can easily tell them, right? Who are they? Yes, you're right. They are students. They are children. Okay, and there is one librarian. The person who stays in a library is a librarian, and the person will let you borrow or you will get books from him or her. And what do you think they are talking about? What do you think they are talking about? Are they talking about some musical dances? No, right? They might be talking about how to get books, how many days they are going to borrow books, or how to get the registration there. So that might be the talking, right? Okay, yes, you are right at guessing. And question C, where do you think they are? Definitely they are in the library, because you have already seen the title, right? Yes. Okay, so now we are going to start the text that is at a library. Before starting the conversation in the text, we are going to look at the words, some of the words that we have here. So let's pronounce them first. How do you pronounce this first word? Yes, you have to say borrow. How do you say? Yes, borrow. Yes. And another one is application. Application, yes. And another word is maximum. Maximum. Another word is rupees. Rupees. Another one is headphones. Headphones. Okay students, so what are they, what do they mean? So I'll give you some of the ideas. The first word, borrow. Okay, the word borrow means that you are taking a book for certain period of time, and not you are taking it permanently. You are taking it temporarily, and you have to give it back when you borrow someone's thing. For example, let me make you one sentence. I have borrowed, okay, borrowed a pen from my friend. I have borrowed a pen from my friend means you have just asked your friend to give a pen for a certain time and you are going to give it back to your friend. So it means you are taking it for some time. So borrow means, once again, to get someone's thing, someone's pencils or books for a certain time, for temporarily, and you are going to give it next day or after some time. So borrowing is kind of taking. And application. What is the meaning of application? Do you know the meaning of application? Yes. So there is another meaning of application that you have already used in your mobile phone, right? That application is a software, but here application is has another meaning, that is a request. Okay, when you ask someone with a request and it is written in the written form, then that becomes an application. Okay, students, I write, for example, I write application to my class teacher for a sick leave. Okay, when you are sick, you write an application. Okay, letter or application to your class teacher for asking a sick leave. Okay, that is a request in a written form. In a paper you write for letting you do something. That is application. And maximum. What is the meaning of maximum? Maximum is the highest level of something, highest amount of something, highest number of something. And we have maximum of 2-3 books that is allowed in a library. Okay. Okay, so another word, rupees. Do you know rupees? Okay, rupees is a currency, okay, money that is in our Nepal or India and some other countries. And headphones, you know that we have some listening devices and we put on our head and ears, that is called headphones. Okay, students, so these are the new words that we have in our conversation here in the text. Okay, let's see the conversation in the text that we are going to read at a library. So I'm going to let you hear some of the audio files for this conversation. Please be ready and listen to it. Okay, students? Okay, let's start.
Can I help you?
Yes, please. I want to borrow some books. What do I need?
You need a library card. Here's the application form. You can take up to 6 books maximum a day.
Okay, 6 books.
Yes. You have 2 weeks to read the books. Then you need to bring them back.
And, if I'm late?
If you are late, then there's a 5 rupee fine a day.
Okay, 5 rupees a day. Anything else?
Mobile phones must be switched off in the library. You can bring your laptop, but please use headphones to watch videos or listen to music.
Okay, great.
And you can't bring food or drink.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, students, so you have listened to the conversation. Now let's read it together, okay? So we are going to read from ourselves, and we have listened to the pronunciation, how they converse, how they ask, and now we are going to try the same way. Okay, students? Okay, let me read it to you, and you can also read along with me. So the librarian says, "Can I help you?" Student says, yes, please. I want to borrow some books. What do I need? Librarian says, you need a library card. Here is the application form. You can take up to 6 books maximum a day. Okay, 6 books. Okay, here let's talk about the let's talk about one question. Okay, students, how can the students borrow some books? Can you find out the answer here? How can they borrow books? Look here, the question is, how can I, or what do I need to do for getting or borrowing book? And the answer is here. The student can borrow book by having a library card. So the librarian says you need a library card, and here is the application form. For getting the library card, you have to fill the application form, and then you will get. So your answer can be, the student can borrow some books by having a library card. Okay, having a or getting a library card. Okay, students, now let's see the next part. Librarian says, yes, you have 2 weeks to read the books. Then you need to bring them back. And if I'm late, the student says, if I'm late, librarian says, if you are late, then there is a 5 rupee fine a day. Student says, okay, 5 rupees a day. Anything else? Okay, so the question is, how long can she read the books? How long can she borrow the books? Okay, let's find out the answer here. How long? Okay, it is at the top here. You have 2 weeks. You have 2 weeks to read the books. So you have the time of 2 weeks for reading the books. After that, you have to return. Okay, another part. Mobile phones must be switched off in the library. You can bring your laptop, but please use headphones. Use headphones to watch videos or listen to music. Student says, okay, great. And you can't bring food or drink. Okay, thank you, the student says again, and there is a librarian. He says, welcome. You are welcome. Okay, so the question here is, what can she bring in the library? Can you answer it? Yes, you're right. She can't bring food or drink in the library. Okay, that is the answer. Okay, students, so we have read the whole conversation in this reading 2 section. Now we are going to do exercises from this text. So we have here exercise A, that is reading the conversation and completing the sentences here. The first sentence is, the boy wants to some books. Wants to some books. What does he or she do? Let's read the conversation part and find out. Okay, the boy, look at here, want is here, want to borrow some book. Okay, what does she want? To borrow some book. So you have to write here, borrow some book. And B, sentence B, he has to fill in an form to get the library card. Okay, what form are here? Look at the form. Yes, we can see here application form. So we have application form for your answer as your answer here for B, sentence B. Okay, another sentences are, he can keep books for how many days? Let's see here. We have to see the time here. You have weeks, days or months. You have to find out from here. For 2 weeks, you can see here. So for 2 weeks, right? If he fails to bring books back, he has to pay a fine of rupees. How much he has to pay or she has to pay? he has to pay 5 rupees a day. Okay, look at this. So our answer is here. Okay, now we have some more sentences here. E and F. They should their mobile phones. What should they do? What should the students do to their mobile phones? Let's find out the mobile phones here. Where is mobile phone here? Yes, it's here. Mobile phones must be switched off in the library. So what is there? Switched off is there. Okay, that is missing here. So you have to write here switched off their mobile. Okay, they should switch off. You have to make the verb one, okay, by avoiding ed here, because we have should here in the sentence. And we have sentence F. They can't bring. What they can't bring? Look at this here. They can't bring food or drink is given here. So food or drink in the library. Okay, students, so I hope you have completed all these answers. Now let me show you all the answers here. Okay, okay, students, so we have these sentences, and let me tell you the answers, and you can check your answers from A to F. The boy wants to borrow some books, and he has to fill in an what kind of form? Yes, you're right, application form to get the library card. Okay, let's talk about the sentence C here. He can keep books for how many weeks or how many days? Yes, for 2 weeks, right? And if he fails to bring the books back, he has to pay a fine of Rs rupees. How much is the money that should be paid? Yes, 5 rupees a day. Okay, they should, okay, what should they do to their mobile phones? They should switch off their mobile phones. Okay, they should switch off their mobile phones. Good. They can't bring in the library. What they can't bring in the library? Yes, you are right. They can't bring food or drink in the library. Okay, students, so we have completed the exercises that is about completing the sentences. Okay, now we are going to look at exercise B, that is writing true or false for the statements. Here we have statements from A, and let's talk about the first statement, that is the boy went to the library. The boy went to the library. Where did he go? Where did the boy go? Is it true or a false sentence? Let's look at the text here again. The boy went to the library. Is it the library? Yes, because he is or she is talking to a librarian. Okay, so he is asking, I want to borrow some book. So we can say it's a true statement. Okay, later we will see the answer. First, let's talk about just the sentences and their answers. He needs to have a library card to borrow books. Is it true or false? Look at here, you need a library card. So it's again true sentence. He can borrow 5 books at a time. Is it a true statement? Let me read it to you. You can take up to 6 books maximum a day. Okay, so how many books? It says 6 books, not 5 books. Okay, okay, so it's a false statement. Okay, now let's move to the another sentences here. He can bring his laptop to the library. Okay, let's see, where is it? Mobile phones must be switched off in the library. You can bring your laptop, but please use headphones to watch videos or listen to music. Look at here, you can bring your laptop. So this sentence is also true. Okay, another sentence is, he has to use headphones to listen to the music on the laptop. Look at here, but use headphones to watch laptop. Okay, watch or videos or listen to music. So it is again the true statement, because here we have the answer. Okay, students, now let's see the whole answers together. So the boy went to the library. Yes, it's a true statement. He needs to have a library card to borrow books. Yes, it's a true statement. He can borrow 5 books at a time. He can borrow 5 books at a time. It's a false statement because he can bring 6 books, right? Yes. He can bring laptop into the library. It's a true statement. Okay, sentence CE, he has to use headphones to listen to the music on the laptop. It's also a true statement. Okay, students, so we have completed the exercise here. Now let's have some questions and answers from this text. Okay, are you ready? Okay, I'll write some questions for you. Please read the questions and please try to answer them. Okay, so first question is, how long can she read the books? Okay, questions for us. How long can she borrow books? Okay, another question is, how many books can she take maximum a day? Okay, another question is, why should he or she pay or you should pay the fine? Another question is, why do you think mobile phones must be switched off? Okay, another question for you is, why do you think, or what type of text is it? Okay, students, let's try to answer these questions. Okay, so the first question is, how long can she borrow books? Okay, we have the text here, and you can read them and then find out how long means and what period of time she can borrow books, and how many books or number of books. Okay, how many means the number of books, 1, 2, 3, or how many books can she take maximum a day. You have to look there in the first section of the conversation. You can find these answers. And another question is, why should she or he pay the fine? Pay means you have to give money to the library because there is some rules. If you miss that rules, then you have to pay. So why do you think mobile phones must be switched off? Okay, what may be the reasons? You have to give the reasons. Okay, So for giving reasons, you can say because what happens there with the mobile phones? That may disturb, right? Okay, another question is what type of text? Okay, type of text is it? Okay, students, let's talk about the first one. How long can she borrow books? You can see here how long? How long can she borrow books? She can borrow books. You can see the answer. And the next, I think in these lines, 2 weeks, right? Now you have to write the answer. Let's answer from here. Answers. Answer 1. Okay. She can. You have to write from here and then write can. She can borrow books. Borrow books for 2 weeks. Okay, for 2 weeks. Okay, this is the answer for question 1. Okay, dear students, she can. Look, you have to arrange the question can she to the subject and auxiliary verb order. And another question is how many books can she take maximum a day? And again, you have to do similar in the similar way. She can. Start with she can. Okay, take. How many book? You have to write take. Now you have to write the number of book. How many books are mentioned here? Can you see here? Maximum of, see here 6 books maximum day. 6 books maximum a day. Okay. Okay, dear students, now let's talk about question 3. Why should he or she pay the fine? Okay, when or if we don't, the answer is if we don't return books on time, okay, then we have to pay the fine. Okay, you can add there. If we don't return books on time, this is the short answer. You can add he or she should pay fine. Okay, so question 4. Why do you think mobile phones must be switched off? Why do you think? Okay, there are reasons that we don't allow mobile phones in the library. Why do you think? Yes, it disturbs the readings. It disturbs the silence of the library. So, because it disturbs the readers in the library, other readers in the library. Okay, so if you talk on the phone, other readers may not get focused on the reading text. Okay, dear students, now we have the last question here from question 5. The question is, what type of text is it? Do you think it is a poem? Or do you think it is a novel? Do you think it is a story or essay or a conversation? Yes, you are right. It's a conversation, or you can say dialogue. Okay, text in the dialogue form. So there are 2 people talking here. It's a conversation. It is a kind of speaking. Okay. Now, answer for 5 question. Okay, the text is a conversation between can say, between a student and a librarian. Okay, you can say the text is a conversation between a student and a librarian. Okay, students, so we have answered the questions, all the questions that we have listed here on the board, and we talked about different information that is in the conversation here. Now we have one more task, that is task C from this lesson, and it says, does your school have a library? Go to your school library and ask the librarian how you can borrow books. Okay, this is a task for you to visit a librarian at your school and say, how can I get or how can I borrow books? Okay, students, so you can say, you can express with the word or question like, how can I borrow books from our library? So what can you say once again? How can I borrow books from our library? Okay, and then the librarian might say, you can borrow books by getting a library card. First, you need to fill up an application form. Okay, the librarian might say that. So learn to ask the question in English, and you can also get information in English from your librarian. Okay, students, so that is how you can get the information about library from your school. So you can do it in your library of your school. Okay, students, so we have come to the end of our today's lesson. In today's lesson, we talked about the reading 2 section, and in this reading we had a library conversation. The title of the reading was At a Library, and in that text we learned about how to get the permission from library to take books, and we did exercises that was about completing sentences, and we also did true or false statements, and finally we have also answered some of the list of questions that we have made here. Okay, students, I hope you have clearly got all the information, ideas about this lesson and about the text. I hope you will do the exercises on your copy as well and show it to your teacher. Have a good time and keep learning from the videos. Namaste, and see you in our next video.